Hello everybody! And welcome. We are looking at a snowy owl. I would not be surprised if this is the very same one that we had seen weeks ago here. You can't tell where we are, but we're looking in the same area where we had first seen one a few weeks ago. Not the very first one the tour had ever seen, but we had seen one weeks ago here, and quite honestly I've been coming back here to look each time, and haven't seen one, and quite honestly even back a little ways on the road looking at the same structure, I couldn't see this owl, and then I drove forward and managed to happen to to catch sight of it right there on the ground. It is a windy day here. Windy, well, at least strongly breezy, and so that's pushing the camera around a little bit, but I'm zoomed in almost as far as I can. It's not very close to us, but I thought I was going to be driving. I was about to drive away, thinking, oh, okay, one more time coming here without seeing a snowy owl. So this is the same one, I believe. I may be wrong, but the same one we had seen weeks ago when we were here. It has some of the same characteristics. It's less white than a full adult male would be, for instance, and it's likely either a juvenile or a female. I'm also hearing some other smaller birds, and just like the snowy owl we had seen last week closer to Montezuma, actually in the Montezuma area, I'm wondering if I'm hearing again horned larks. I'm not sure. I tried, before seeing the owl, I had seen these smaller birds flying around, whatever they were, never managed to get a look at one closely, so I can't tell if they're horned larks or not. But the vocalizations I'm hearing are similar to the vocalization I was hearing last week in Montezuma, and we eventually did see a horned lark. Right now I don't know where they are. I saw at least two of these smaller birds that I'm referring to right now. It's roughly 28 degrees. It feels all of that because of the wind blowing, and a lot of that wind is blowing almost directly into my car. But I'm so glad to see this snowy owl. Since I arrived and have spotted it, it hasn't budged. It's kind of hard for me to see my screen right now. There's a little bit of air distortion because the sun is, well, it hasn't really been really sunny, but the sun is occasionally peeking through the clouds. I would love to see, if those are horned larks that I'm hearing, I would love to get a look at them. I don't know where they are. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to switch cameras and give you just a wider field of view look at where we are. Again, we're not sure how to describe it, really. I don't know exactly where I am in terms of municipalities or whatever. I have not seen any reports on eBird of sightings of an owl in this particular location in some time. So either no one's been reporting or no one's been looking and seeing. I don't know. It could very well be that people, just came to, take things for granted and stopped reporting. I don't know. I should probably report it myself. But let me switch cameras quickly. Be right with you. Okay. So, again, this may look familiar to you because we were here weeks ago. And then I've got to deal with some wires here. And you know, we're looking out at a field, and our snowy owl, I should be recording this, our snowy owl is over here. Oops, there we go. Okay, I'm going to switch cameras back. The wind is a sustained wind. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the highest wind, you know, highest speed wind I've ever experienced, but it's sustained and can be kind of annoying. Let's see if I can report to eBird. Hopefully it'll accept me. Can't remember my password. I'm not going to be here too long, but there we go. Getting there. Still, it's nice to see this owl. Beautiful. Oops, oops. Forgotten. Oh well. Look at that cute face. Look at that face. I'm dealing with my phone right now, so I'm only occasionally looking. By the way, as I mentioned, we saw an owl, a snowy owl, near in the Montezuma area last week, and I have posted some video if anyone's interested. It's on YouTube. Oh, hold on. Shoot. One of those birds, smaller birds, just flew by. I might be able to get it. Hold on. Hard for me to find it. Hold on. There! Yeah, that's a horned lark. Cute. Notice the pointed little, well, they're called horns, but they're not really horns, but look at the little points on its head, roughly above where its ears are, or would be, or whatever. That's why it's called a horned lark. Let me lighten it up a little bit. Hey! Where'd you go? Oh. Unfortunately, their numbers are dwindling. That's why I try to see them and appreciate them whenever I can. By the way, I saw a horned lark last week, and we had technical difficulties at the time, so apparently you did not see the horned lark live, but I included it in the video I uploaded of the snowy owl. So, like last week, it's nice to see it vocalized too. Like last week, we have both a snowy owl and a horned lark. It's not very close, and in fact, I don't know. I probably could see it with the naked eye, but it would be difficult for me to find it. I don't know exactly where it is. I'm very grateful this lark is giving us time to get a look. It's not a super close-up, but hey. But I am very appreciative. Okay, let's go back to... Hold on one second. Let me just check something out. Okay, let's go back to the snowy owl. Hold on, I gotta get things so they're steady. And the owl is still there. Just heard the lark again, the horned lark. Look at that face. Look at that face. We had a really nice look last week. at the snowy owl in Montezuma. And unfortunately it took off and flew farther away from us, but for a few moments we had it on camera and it gave us a really nice look. And that's at the very beginning of the video I uploaded. We've, if you're new to the tour or haven't heard me before, we've seen snowy owls on a few occasions now. Now we've seen what was probably the very same owl we're looking at a number of weeks ago, and we were in this location, and we're looking at the same little structure area. I think it's like a gas well, something or other, right there. And we've, last week we saw the snowy owl in Montezuma, and the first sighting we had was actually in November of 2017 in Montezuma, and that was just a lucky sighting. Uh-oh. Oh. Just a lucky sighting that day. We were just leaving Wildlife Drive when I saw in the distance like there was a light spot. There was a light spot in the tree, and I thought I don't know, I thought I'd see something like, for whatever reason, a gull or pigeon or something there. And it turned out to be a snowy owl. We had some nice close-ups of it. It didn't move around at all, and there were a couple twigs kind of in the way, but it was a nice sighting. For a second, I thought this owl was looking to maybe take off. By the way, the video I posted from last week did have what I captured of one flight, and that's the first and only time I've ever seen a snowy owl fly with my own eyes. I don't think I'm going to be here too much longer, unless there's like some activity and this owl takes off. It's still very nice to see. Unfortunately, that wind continues to push the camera and everything, but we'll make do for now. Just love to see them turn their heads around and look around. Sorry it's so shaky. And sorry for having some dust there somewhere. Look at that face. Look at that face. I love their faces. I'm just checking in on the chat room. Yes, I did start early. I started as soon as I could after spotting this snowy owl. I thought I'd start right up. Apparently I started at about maybe at around 11:51 or 2. And if you think I'm satisfied, no, I'm not. I intend to go and see if we can find more snowy owls, if possible. You know, for a lot of people, they see a species of bird once and, okay, that's it. You know, they're not interested in seeing it any longer. Not only do I love the looks of snowy owls and how they act from what I've seen and everything, but, you know, I'm you know, hoping, you know, I'm always hoping to get the ultimate look at whatever species of bird. Whether it's snowy owl or birds that I see more often, like red-tailed hawks or bald eagles or whatever, you know, I'm always hoping for the ultimate look, the ultimate video, if possible. By the way, Dolph, we also saw a few minutes ago, we watched a horned lark. Okay, I think I'm going to pack up a bit here, and we're going to, I think, continue on to the Finger Lakes Regional Airport if I can find my way there. Let's just try to get one or two more looks. Look this way. There you go. Again, we're really magnified quite a bit, and with that magnification, the wind is really pushing my whole setup around a bit. Beautiful bird. Okay, let's move on. Well, very shortly. I just love the looks of them. Sorry, but I do. Cute. You know, if you look at what we're looking at, I mean, there's the overall structure has, you know, yellow obviously is dominant, but there's some white and everything, plus the snow. And, you know, at first, something I think may have been blocking my view of the owl there on the actual ground. And I didn't see it. And I was back a little ways on the road. And then as I drove forward, I looked again, and I believe I noticed some movement. Maybe it turned its head or whatever, and maybe I hadn't noticed. Maybe I also realized there was something there on the ground, whether moving or not. And taking a look, it was, sure enough, it was this beautiful owl. All right, but we're gonna get going. Bye, baby. And as the temperature is, could be worse. Could be worse, but it's like 28 degrees. So it's not the very, very coldest of days, but it's cold enough. Hi, baby. Love you. Oh, you're kidding me. Horned lark, I think. I'm going to try and switch cameras and see if we can get a look. If it stays put. Oh, just took off. It's not too far away. Hold on. If I can find it on camera. I can't seem to find it. Hold on. Where'd it go? I'm not sure if I see it. I think I see it. It's hard to tell where I'm pointing. That's the problem. Now I don't see it. I hear it. It's kind of nasty. I'm sorry, I don't see it now. Switch cameras back. Oh, is that it? That is it. lightening it up quite a bit. I believe there are 2 in the area at least. I've seen 2 flying around. Again, notice the little feather structures on its head that look like 2 little horns. As I said earlier, the horned lark, their numbers are declining. And it's a sad thing to know of that about any bird, really. So whenever I get a chance, I try to look at them and appreciate them. We're going to move on. Quite a bit, to be honest with you. Hi, baby. So let's see if we can find our way without GPS to the airport. Kind of know the way. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. As I was saying earlier, you know, seeing snowy owls now as often as I have, you know, some people, they want to see something once, and as soon as they're done seeing it for the first time, they don't care to see it anymore. Not all people are like that, of course, but some people are like that. They have a bucket list, or they want to put, I don't know if they want to put something in it, I don't know if they want to add to their life list or not. And for me, you know, sometimes I just like to see the birds, you know, both the birds that I see all the time and the birds that I don't see all that often. And you know, as I've said, I'm always looking for the ultimate look at a bird. You know, maybe just the most interesting video, maybe a super close-up, whatever. I guess that can kind of explain why we do some of what we do. close-ups of various birds, even birds that we've seen many, many times. So, you know, if I have the opportunity, I'll try to give us a close-up. It's nice to see, you know, a bird in detail and see the fine feather patterns or whatever. I just saw some bird it flew to the edge of the road and then flew back. I don't know what it was. It looked like a sparrow of some sort. So, 28 degrees. It's kind of, I'm not going to say it's sunny. It's mostly cloudy, but there are some patches, large patches of blue in the sky. But I wouldn't yet call it a sunny day. Looking at the owl, it wasn't too sunny. Is that a crow or an owl that I'm seeing? Not, oh, it's a hawk. I'll give you a quick look. Right up here, that's all. Tailed hawk, but I don't know for certain. It looks like one. I should, yeah, let's try to get a better look. Hold on. Why is there a car behind me? Why do cars have to be behind me when I really don't want them? Hold on. Let's just hope that hawk stays there. That could be a... I don't know. Hold on. It's going to be hard for me to hold steady because of just where it is and how I'm pointing the camera. Let me get it again. What I don't see is the, you know, a large band on the tail, a white band that a rough-legged hawk has, but the face, I'm not sure. Of course, our angle is not great for seeing it. I wouldn't mind seeing its legs a little better. I have a feeling it's not a red-tailed, or not a rough-legged hawk, but I don't know. The coloring of its head, though, it doesn't look quite what we would normally expect for red-tailed. Love for it to turn around. We're coping with the wind, and so is this hawk. You might be able to see it better than I can right now. Oops. The reason why I'd love to see the legs is because a rough-legged hawk has feathers on the legs all the way down to the feet, and you know, if we could see its legs, that would be an indicator, obviously. Let me darken it back up a little bit. Wouldn't mind if it would take off also, to be honest with you, and if we could see it, if we could, you know, get a look at it while it's in flight, it'd be helpful. I should say it might be helpful. We're not going to look too much longer. Okay, let's get going. Hi, baby. Easy. Okay, let's keep going. Again, I'm not sure what kind of hawk that was. May have been a red-tailed hawk. The coloring seemed a little odd for a red-tailed hawk, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe if we had driven back a ways on the road and then had a look at its, maybe a slightly better look at its tail, if I could have seen a large white band towards the base of the tail, closer to the base of the tail, you know, that would be that would help me determine that it was a rough-legged hawk. I know I didn't signal, but there's nobody around. I'll say this. I have not, for a couple of days, I don't believe I've seen any eBird alerts for Seneca County. So again, either no one is, hold on, let me look at this. Either no one's reporting, snowy owls because they're not seeing them, or they're not reporting, or they're not looking. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of crows here to my left on the ground. Now, over the last several weeks, not in the last few days, but over the last several weeks, there have been reports of, a snowy owl here near the Finger Lakes Airport. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen one at all. And I'm hoping that one of these days I'm lucky enough to see one. Stop and look at something. 1 second. Sometimes I see a reference to an antenna, and I'm not sure if I'm looking at the antenna right now with my binoculars. And I don't know people who have reported it, an owl near the antenna. I'm not sure how they're, able to see it, if they're just looking with scopes, or if they're, I've seen some pictures that were reasonably good, I think. But, just looking at the owl we saw earlier. Hold on a second. What do I see in the air? I see two hawks flying together in the distance. Oh, there are 3 hawks. 3 red-tailed hawks. Hold on. One is flying away. 2 went to a tree. 1 is flying away now. I don't know if I have it on camera for you. But 2 flew up to one of these trees here. Maybe it was this one. 2 were flying together, more or less in a straight line. I think I hear horned larks again. Oh, there it is. Another horned lark. Oh, it just took off. But there were 3 red-tailed hawks there. So 2 flew up to a tree, and then I think 1 was in a tree and flew away. And I don't know if there was any kind of issue, or I don't know, but I definitely saw the red tails on 2 of them, and I believe I may have seen on the 3rd. Okay, so let's pull in here one more time and see if maybe we can, somewhere around here, see an owl. Again, I've never seen one here myself before. And I just have a feeling I'm not going to have better luck today, but you never know. You know, actually, now that I think about it, we spoke with people last week who had said that they had seen one around here. You know, we were telling them of the owl we had seen. And I have to be honest, after I left Montezuma, I came here briefly on my way back to Ithaca. And seeing nobody, I continued on. See, I can't go, wait, can I go there? We can go forward here a little bit. We can't go any much further than this. And I don't see anything. Of course, they're hard to see. I mean, you know, I was looking right at that structure that we saw the owl at this morning, and at first I didn't see it until I drove forward, and then all of a sudden it popped into view. I think what we're going to do is probably just continue on towards Montezuma. You know, obviously it's still winter. We're looking around at snow on the ground, and you know, we could have some major storms before it's all over with. I realize that, but we're coming up on really what's one of my favorite times of the year: late winter, early spring. I don't like the nor'easter type storms that often come up the coast, you know, the East Coast, in the late winter and early spring. But you know, I do enjoy some of the things we get to see, including you know, bird activity related to you know, courtship and mating. So I mean, in many ways, we're just about at a very good time of year in terms of bird watching. Could easily say that my least favorite time of year for bird watching may be late summer. You know, it's too early for migration. Birds are leaving. Some of the vegetation is usually by then not looking so good. Just looking around here and there every once in a while. Again, I've seen no reports from eBird of owl activity in some time here. However, I hadn't seen any for our location earlier where we did see one. So, you know, to me, it's still worth a look. You never know. Just because no one else has seen something doesn't mean we can't see it, you know, ourselves. Somebody has to be first. But I think we're going to continue on now towards Montezuma. We'll slowly make our way there, at least as we leave the airport area. Pull over and let this car pass me. 1 second. Didn't think I'd be coming up to the Montezuma area so often. Not, not in winter. This vehicle ahead of us, heading the other way, has kind of stopped. I wonder if they're bird watchers also. Hello.
Hi.
Any interest in snowy owls or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't seen one here, but there's one in that, if you're familiar with that other location on Seabolt Road.
Down by the gas well there.
There's one there. Do you know where to look here or no?
I don't know. It seems like people have seen them on the runway off and on, but not very, I haven't seen any recent reports, so.
Okay.
We didn't see any from the north end, but yeah, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm not even sure where we can and cannot go around here, but
Yeah, I just looked from the road, so never gone in anywhere.
okay. Thank you. Good luck. I recognized, by the way, the two gentlemen I was talking with just now. I've seen them before, but I'm not sure if one of them might have been Jay McGowan. I'm not sure. Might have been. However, and I don't know how long they've been here. I have a feeling just by their approach, maybe they haven't been here that long. But you know, maybe I should turn around. I'm going to turn around. I want to go back and look at maybe a little better along some of those snow banks along the runway as best I can see them. And you never know, maybe they'll spot an owl. I have a feeling both of them are better birders than I am. Never thought I would do something like this. One of these places I've really don't know. Looking for maybe one bird. Again, you know, we just saw a snowy owl a short time ago, so why am I here? I'm here because maybe if we're lucky enough, maybe we'll get a closer, better look at a snowy owl. That's, you know, that's why I'm hoping to see one. The one we saw earlier was, you know, as beautiful as it wasn't very close. Pull over here and take a look at some things here. Okay, don't see anything. Not yet. Last week, we were very lucky. You know, we were in an area where I had, you know, I knew an owl had been seen, but I didn't see it. But I did end up seeing someone else who had seen it, and that's what, you know, that's what got me to, you know, turn around and go see what that person was seeing, and sure enough, it was a snowy owl. And one of the better looks I had ever had at one. The look we had in November of 2017 was really a nice close-up look, but the lighting wasn't great, and you know, there were a couple twigs in the way. Last week, for a short time, the sunlight was just right, and it wasn't too far from us, and we had a nice look. So, of course, it had to fly away. I wonder where they went. I don't see their car. course, it doesn't have to, be just at the airport. I realize there are other areas to go in the vicinity, and maybe an owl would be there as opposed to here, but. I think we're going to turn around and continue on to Montezuma. And not seeing anything is a lot less exciting than seeing something, so we might as well do that. There's a better way to get a look at the runways or whatever, but it can be frustrating to look, but it's also fun to look, for whatever species of bird you happen to be interested in. Looks like we're going to have a helicopter taking off very shortly. I've never been in a helicopter. Airplanes, yes. Hot air balloons, yes. But never a helicopter. Okay, I guess we're gonna get underway. Let's head towards Montezuma. We're very close there. We just have a few minutes drive, and we'll look around there, see if we can see anything of interest. The an owl here within view of, I guess, this intersection here that we're about to enter. So, I mean, it's not like that they stay just to, the airport itself. But my streak of not seeing one continues. Okay, nothing there. Okay, on to Montezuma, I guess. Unless a snowy owl pops up. far. The owls, the snowy owls I have seen, have been, well, most times they've either been on the ground or very close to ground level. You know, I'm looking at, you know, today, although the owl was right on the ground, but weeks ago it was on one part of that structure, and last week the one we saw was on the ground. The very first one I had ever seen was in a tree, but not that high in a tree. Cardinal, a couple cardinals, and there were other birds too. I'm not sure what they were. Take a right here at this intersection. I look forward to doing this all week long, every week. And, you know, for me, it's a lot of fun. It's always a big disappointment if for some reason I have to delay it even a day. And, you know, I enjoy it, but I try to do some kind of bird watching every day. I mean, I'm always, you know, every morning as soon as I can, I take a look out the window, not just to see the, you know, okay, what's the weather like? I mean, I'm actually trying to look for birds, look for my neighboring hawks in particular, and my neighboring eagles in particular. Drive around, you know, each day I've picked up the habit of, you know, always looking for birds. So while it's, you know, you could say it's not like a formal bird watching event, it's something I do every day. Every once in a while I'll see something near me that is just, you know, need to see and hopefully record and then maybe share. One thing I saw that was nice, and I have uploaded it already to YouTube, was last, I believe it was Monday. I was watching my neighboring red-tailed hawks, Betty, Barney, and Phoenix, and I, saw them flying around. And granted, with my setup that I was using, I couldn't always record them all very well, but within the camera frame, they're often you'd see two hawks, but then towards the end of the video, all three of them were together, all flying with their legs lowered and all in the same direction, just for a few moments. It was neat to see, and it was that that little segment that had me upload the whole thing. The quality of the video isn't the best. I could have maybe done something different with the camera. Sometimes I'm recording, but sometimes it's just, I don't set things properly. It's my own error. What happens often, not always, but what happens often is I'll adjust the camera so I can see better. But then later on, looking at the video, whatever I recorded, I'll realize, geez, that's just too bright. I shouldn't have done it. But at the time, I need it so I can hopefully see the birds that I'm looking at and try to keep them in focus. Difficult sometimes is if I'm not ready, if I'm not really ready to record, and I do happen to see something and the sun is out, and the sun is shining on me at such an angle that it makes it so that I can't really see what my camera's showing me. The sun's right in my eyes. It can be very difficult.